Welcome, ladies, for a special IKS Live Zoom event where tonight you are going to get to meet your next ambassador in just a few minutes. So let's talk ambassadors first. For all of you that are new here to the group and the program, you may not know, we actually have an ambassadorship program. All right. Now you can learn more about what's required and what kind of perks you get on the main website, which is at ikickedsugar.com. So you're going to go to the top menu bar and you'll see the section that says about on the menu. Drop down there and it will say ambassador. Click on that and you can learn all about the program. Now, Dawn and I, we are always looking in the groups in search of our next ambassador. And we recently have just revamped the program. And we've also made an online application for anyone there, a form where you can submit the application right there for consideration. So it's something to think about, something to strive for. As I mentioned on the website, these are women. Who's an ambassador? They're women who've completed the program. They have declared their sugar freedom, and they are active daily in our groups, supporting, commenting, teaching, and encouraging others. So it's really crucial that you first work the program, right? And that you have a clear grip on the material and the philosophy, and then what's important and how we look for you is you lead by example, right? It's not about perfection, but it is about progress, and it's about declaring your sugar freedom. It is about understanding, getting a real good grip that language is key, all right? That your habits are key to a healthy, happy life. Bottom line, any ambassador that we bring on is just an extension of me, and the whole IKS brand. So I have to be really mindful of who I vet in. Now, the woman that you're going to meet in a few minutes, this is someone who's really shattered age-related barriers and has achieved some amazing results, defying all expectations. Now, before IKS, she was in so much pain from developing osteoarthritis in not only her knees, but also her hips, right, her groin, and her hands. And she was having difficulty even just getting out of a chair, right? She couldn't walk up or down a flight of stairs or even get out of her car or her bed without experiencing severe pain. Everything she shared just took all the effort out of her. And that's because her body was inflamed, right? And it was swollen, which caused limited range of motion. And from this, as I'm sure many of you can relate, when you are in constant daily physical pain day after day, depression sets in, and it can start to consume your thoughts. And it did for her. And she became very depressed, inactive, and almost a recluse. She just really disconnected from life. Now, fast forward to today, and she is a new woman. At the age of, right, you are never going to believe this. I still don't believe it. 69 years young. Wow. In fact, I would never guess, nor would you, her as a depressed person or a recluse. In the Facebook groups, she's extremely active, and she's what I would call Miss Positive, just really totally outward. On all the live monthly coaching calls that we have in the masterclass program, she's extremely vocal, and she's just really a no holds barred kind of woman, which I love because I'm the same way. There's nothing quiet about her. She is totally outgoing in every way. And she's also extremely generous as an IKS member in our community, giving of her time and herself daily, committed to helping support all of you ladies here. She's been a constant actually in our community now for over 8 months. She's a diehard tribe member and an inner circle cheerleader for the masterclass program. I don't think that there's actually one post where you won't see that she is commented on. You know, she's so committed to making everyone feel welcome and heard. She's been free for over 7 months, and she is going to be the first to tell you that she has no desire, no desire for sugar. And as she said, IKS has given her life back. Now she's lost over 30 pounds and over 18 inches. And she said she is only just beginning. And her osteoarthritis, it is healing. Her inflammation and pain, it's gone, right? She's no longer depressed, sitting in her house, staring at the walls. I mean, she can finally exercise again and move freely, which she loves to do. All right. So without further ado, I know you're all dying to meet her. I want to introduce you to your next IKS ambassador, ambassador number 6, Lori Del Muaro. Welcome, Lori.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Thank you for joining us, Lori, live. I am so excited. Congratulations on being the 6th ambassador. Now, you received several perks in the mail being an ambassador. So I mentioned that earlier. So share with the ladies before we start getting into a conversation here first, so they can see what got delivered to your house. What did you get?
Oh my goodness. Where do I even begin? The box came and I was just ecstatic and was so beautifully packaged. And in the box, I received a backpack, IKS Sugar little pouchy thing. I received a beautiful apron, IKS Sugar apron,
Love
which I can't wait to use.
Sugar-free chef, which you are now.
Absolutely. I received 2 shirts, this one, and I received a lovely tank top, IKS Sugar tank top. I received this beautiful sweatshirt hoodie.
Nice. Oh, a jacket, a sweat jacket. Perfect for the cooler weather coming up.
Yep, got that. I had to confiscate this back for my husband because I received this lovely hat, which he loves.
That's perfect for mowing the lawn, right? Wearing that outside.
Yes, I received this lovely mug with hot cocoa in it from Chalk Zero. I received samples of all different, the Ultima Replenisher, the Art X Bar, vegan protein. I received stickers and these lovely motivational cards.
Does it feel like Christmas?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. This, like, the box was endless. I received this lovely letter from you, and I received confetti.
Fun. Who doesn't love confetti? You're never too old for confetti. I love it. And did you get something else, a really big box?
I sure did. Hold on, I will get it. I received this enormous check.
Yay! Woo-hoo. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I say this to all my ladies, that's probably the biggest, might not be the biggest monetarily, but the biggest check you ever got. Am I right?
Absolutely the biggest.
Well, I just like it to be fun. I really like to celebrate my ambassadors. So I'm so glad that you got all of that in the mail. Enjoy it, wear it. We want to see pictures as you utilize it and use it through your ambassadorship. And, you know, let me ask you this, Lori. I know that when you first joined, you said that, you know, you said that you wanted to become, it was your mission to become an IKS ambassador, right? Yeah. So how does it feel now to have achieved that goal that you set forth how many months ago for yourself? And how did you do it?
It feels amazing. I feel accomplished. First of all, Joyce, I am very humbled and grateful to join your team and the other ambassadors in this incredible program. And hopefully I'm not going to get emotional here. When I signed up for IKS, I was just ready to get sugar out of my life. And I was a sponge. I got into everything, all the videos, everything. And I looked at all the ambassadors and I just made a vow to myself that I was going to be an ambassador. I am known for being a leader and being very motivational, and I've been a coach. And I just knew that I had to be an ambassador in a program that literally saved my life. And I made it my mission, and I did the work. And I became sugar-free pretty quickly because I was ready and just vowed that I was going to do all the steps that it took to become ambassador. And today that dream has come true for me. And I've been like trembling all day because I'm just so excited.
Snaps to you. That is so motivating. I love that that was a vision and dream of yours, something to work towards a goal, aside from just kicking sugar. But then how could you really make that your life's mission, right? And turn that into helping others and supporting others. I mean, we really do learn and live best by example, right? And by teaching and lifting others up, we lift ourselves up, which is exactly why you did all of this and how it happened so quickly for you, because in your helping and supporting others, you were supporting yourself along the way. So congratulations again. So excited for you. Really.
Thank you so much. I was wondering who you were talking about when I was looking around the room as you were describing.
You're that amazing. Now, Lori, being 69 years young, I mean, you've lived a lot of life, you know, and you've had many different career paths, like being ladies. Listen to this. She's been a professional hairstylist for 45 years, dental assistant, x-ray tech. You have built and renovated homes. You are a master gardener who's owned and operated third generation greenhouse growing business for 45 years with your husband, a super successful business. I mean, that's just to name a few of the things you've done. You know, you really are, I like to call you a Renaissance woman. You've done a little bit of everything and a lot also. And I know you've shared with me and in the masterclass community, you know, in some of the posts that you've also loved restoring old furniture. And you said, and I quote, I'm quoting you from this, I took this from you, it's a passion of mine to fix things, you know, to make the old new again, unquote. I mean, I absolutely love what you say there, because I think this serves as a perfect metaphor for what you say is actually your favorite passion, which is helping other people restore their minds, their bodies, you know, and their spirits. So now, why I also know you're going to make an amazing ambassador is that you were also, as you just mentioned, a health coach for over 20 years, you know, just another one of your careers there, mentoring and coaching people to become the best version of themselves physically, you know, and mentally. So from your years of experience, you know, coaching others, you know, and their health, what do you think, and what have you seen, I guess, their biggest obstacle is that stops, you know, women, I mean, now it's women, I know you did both men and women, from achieving their health goals? If you could share that with us from your experience.
Well, Joyce, it's in my experience, coaching for over 20 years, I found that, first of all, women just don't believe in themselves. And they don't know what their why is. You really need to know what your why is. And I always say your why should make you cry. It has to be deep, emotional. It can't just be, well, I want to lose 10 pounds to get into a dress for a wedding. Okay, that's a short-term why, but that's not the deep, something, you know, deep inside of them that's going to bring out that emotion of why do you want to change your life? Whether it's losing weight, kicking sugar, whatever, you know, whatever it is, you really have to dig deep and find out, you know, what that why is. And then the other thing that I have found is that, you know, people just, it's too hard. They can't commit to something. They can't stay consistent with something. They can for a short term, couple weeks maybe, and then they, you know, kind of fall off and, you know, and oh, it's too hard and they give up. And so those were the two biggest obstacles that I saw in all my years of coaching. And I still see it today, even in our program.
Right. Yeah, no, it's so true. Consistency, like you said, I think also like perfectionism, like how we talk about progress, not perfection, that it is hard work, but it's not when you break it down, right? It's just daily small steps. It's when you
Right.
look at, so it's the consistency. And I love you. You've also said it in posts, also in comments, and I've said it on calls time after time, that our ladies, as I'm sure you've experienced with coaching, they're already living hard, before you start this program.
Yeah.
You lived hard. I lived hard,
Right.
it's like we have already lived hard. So it's a matter of choosing your hard, because you're going to have to choose something,
Exactly.
it's one or the other hard. So what's it going to be? Why don't you choose the control and the hard that actually has a benefit and a payoff, is so crucial.
Yeah. And the other thing along with that, Joyce, is as well, is that it's, all or nothing, and they want instant results. Well, it didn't take you, 3 weeks to get to where you are, and it's not going to take you 3 weeks to get to where you want to be. So, just doing the hard things and staying committed.
Yeah. And that's what I also love about you too, is I never once saw a post where you were like, I've been sugar-free now for 2 months or 3 months and I haven't lost any weight, or I only lost, 3 pounds. Like, you understood that it was a process and you trusted the process. You just continue to stay, diligent to your daily consistent, efforts. And slowly through time, the stronger you got, the less inflammation, the more you could move, the more you could, your diet continually improved, even off of sugar. You made healthier choices, started eating healthier, and things started to shift to where now you can say that's 30 pounds. Could you have joined a program in the past and lost 30 pounds in a month? Sure. But you'd be back right now with, 30 plus another 30.
Right.
So
the other thing that I like to bring to people's attention is, especially if they've got any health issues going on, you have to heal your body first to lose the weight. You don't lose the weight to heal your body.
Powerful. See, that's why I've made you an ambassador. You say great stuff. I love it. Now, before we go any further, I want you to take everybody back for a moment in history, because I really want everyone to understand your story and your past. You've got a lot of past there. And what I love about your life and your journey is that it's not perfect. It's messy, it's complicated. It shows life is about all of us. What I try and instill in everyone, practicing daily to become the best versions of ourselves, if that is what you choose your goal to be. And you and I both choose that. And in doing so, that doesn't mean that we're going to have it all figured out. Like, just because you declare your day, it's not like, boom, all of a sudden, right, you lost the weight and life is easy, and you've declared. It's still work every day. And that life just ebbs and flows, in moments of our lives. And just like our IKS journey ebbs and flows. And when I look at your life, I see, that you went from struggling with your sugar addiction as a child that you've shared with me, to becoming a closet sugar addict, as you call it. You can explain that in a moment to everyone, what you mean by that. To later in life, becoming a health coach and a bodybuilder, walking 10 miles a day you were doing, regularly, to then allowing menopause, which we hear a lot in the group. Menopause consumes us, kind of like, whoo, knocks us off course there, to get the better of your life, and then you slowly started watching from then weight creeping in, as your health declined. You then become less mobile, and despite knowing what you knew about nutrition and exercise from being a health coach, you were still consuming so much sugar daily. And wow, boy, could I resonate and relate to, those words and that story, because it's my story. I knew better, and yet I was still addicted. That was me. So share with us right now, take us back, your story and your words, your journey to sugar freedom. And also just what was the missing link when you get to the end of your journey? Share with us. What was it that finally did it for you, that broke you from that sugar addiction to start living in this abundance?
Okay. Well, as a child, I grew up in a loving home, but a very turbulent home. There were things that went on in my home that I didn't understand. I was the eldest of 5 children, and I just felt different. I didn't feel like I belonged. I knew I was loved, but yet I didn't really feel that whole long story. But anyway, that's where the sugar addiction started. I would walk down to maybe it was 9, 10 years old, and I would walk down to the little candy shop near my home, and I'd buy all kinds of candy and have it all eaten before I got home. And this went on for decades. And I shared with you that, I used to pay people to be my friend. I used to give them money to go buy candy so we could eat it together and be friends. And as I got older, I guess I just found comfort in eating sugar, and I ate a lot of it. And I was a very thin kid, so I didn't have a weight problem until later on in life. But as I grew older, I would just feel the need for that sugar. So I would make trips to the store, buy as much candy as I could, and I would hide it from my brothers and sisters. And as I got older and then got married, I, as we talked about, became a closet sugar addict. I didn't want my kids to have all that stuff, but I would go and get it for myself. I would go to the grocery store and buy a 2-pound bag of M&Ms and have it eaten in the 15-minute drive home, and then have to hide the bag or, get rid of it so nobody would see it. I also shared with you that Easter time, I would go out, but at Easter time, there was a big Gertrude Hawk candy sale, and I would buy $300 worth of candy, and I'd have it in my dining room. And it was, for the kids for Easter. And of course, the kids never saw it because mom ate it all. My husband and I were in the greenhouses, and I would be thinking about the smidgens in the dining room. And I would say to my husband, I'm going to go run into the house and use the bathroom. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. And I'd run in the house, grab a bag of smidgens and eat the whole box, and then go back to the greenhouses. I would make a trip into the little store in the town where I lived and buy candy, bring it home, hide it. And then I literally would go into a closet to eat it. So nobody would see me do that. And, as I progressed in life and then learned about nutrition and became a coach, I just found I just couldn't understand what was wrong with me. In 2001, I lost 75 pounds because I gained weight, and I had lost 75 pounds and kept it off for 15 years, coaching people, helping thousands of people lose weight, get rid of diabetes. But I always had this addiction to sugar. As time went on, and I never really understood why can't I just stop? I mean, I'd be okay for a couple of weeks. I wouldn't touch it. And then the next thing you know, I was eating it again, or I was drinking, a 10-pack of Diet Pepsi. So as time went on, and I came to realize I had a problem. I was addicted to sugar big time for over 50 years. So, I just never understood what my problem was, but I knew that it was deep rooted, and I knew it had something to do with my family life and, things that I found out later on and understood it. But even then, I still had to have the sugar. So I almost felt like a hypocrite, because here I am, teaching other people how to eat. I knew all about nutrition. I was a bodybuilder. I knew all the things to do. Life went on, and I started gaining weight. We had a traumatic experience happen in our lives, and it really put me in not a great place. And then my parents got sick and, became their caretakers. And I found IKS in February of 2022. And I bought the audio program for $5. And I started listening to it, and I thought, oh, this is great. This sounds like, something that can really, work. And started listening and then stopped. Fast forward to January of this year, I knew I had to do something because I was in agony, as you were explaining. I was in so much pain. I had become so depressed. I just felt like I'm a very positive person, and I just felt like life was just beating me down. I was giving up. I really was giving up. I just didn't care about anything. And so I would sit here with my candy and my, junk, my cupcakes or whatever I could get my hands on, still hiding it from the family. And my brother-in-law passed away from results from the effects of diabetes. And I thought,
Type 2 diabetes or type 1 diabetes?
type 2.
So it was his
Totally.
Lifestyle.
Totally preventable. I watched him lose his eyesight, his teeth, toes amputated, and this was a very viable man. I mean, he didn't give up till he passed, but the damage was done. He was on 5 shots of insulin a day. And I even tried working with him when I was a coach, years ago to try but he just wasn't there. So anyway, I said, okay, I'm going down a rabbit hole here and I need to do something and I need to do it now. And I went back to the audio program and I started listening and I went, okay, I'm getting right into this master class. And Joyce, I shared with you, I couldn't afford it. But I said, you know what? I invested all that money and all that crap that I ate all those years. I'm going to find a way. So I did it on a payment plan and I just paid it off. And I got indulged in it and I became a sponge and I just knew that the time was right. And I finally got to the bottom of what my problem was, why I was addicted to sugar. And it was like the switch was just turned on. A light bulb went off and I finally came to realize why I was so addicted to sugar. And when I realized what that was, and it was just that feeling of abandonment and not just feeling worthy enough. And, I wasn't good enough and I was never going to be as good as my siblings and when I finally realized what it was, and I realized it wasn't me. I wasn't the problem. And that was it. It was just done. And when you said in one of the modules, I don't eat sugar. And I went, wait a minute. I don't smoke. Somebody offers me a cigarette. No, thank you. I don't smoke. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink. I had a bad experience as a teenager. I don't drink alcohol. If someone offers me a drink, no, thank you. Well, why can't I do that with sugar? And it wasn't until you said it in one of the videos. And I'm like, oh my God, like, hello. Right. And that was my awakening moment. And I've not turned back. And I mean, here it is. I'm going into my 8th month of no sugar and I still have no desire. I have had nothing. And we've been on vacation with the grandchildren and the ice cream stores. And I have no desire whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what I love hearing about your story again. And I see this with other women also who get it. Also with your story, so similar to mine in the sense that you grew up and you understood and had training with a whole mindset. You understood mindset being a coach. Mm-hmm. You understood the power of our thoughts and language. So you got that missing part. Mm-hmm. And you understood nutrition, you understood about macronutrients and what, food does to our body, which I had that understanding also, yet we were both still addicted to sugar. We were using it, for something else. It was a substance. I also tell me if this, resonates with you and you feel the same way. What was crucial for me was really, though, diving deep with all my years of nutrition, taking classes and understanding about health in the body and nutrition. It still wasn't taught to the degree that, where I got my own degree on sugar and what sugar does and what the sugar industry does, and really understand about that micronutrient. That is not taught, it's just fluffed over too. So here I was claiming to be healthy, and I can manipulate, my macros and look amazing, but on the inside, I can't lie, to my organs, what that was doing. And, right now, I mean, that's the same way here in America that, metabolic health is at its highest. And people who are even, look fit and are healthy and are exercising, they are suffering with metabolic health because they're still consuming so much sugar. And so when you get that education, like I think you're saying, you really got okay, you learned about sugar and the addiction of sugar, what it's doing to your body. And then you understood why you were using sugar. I'm not good enough was your why. Basically what Louise Hay says is really all of our our issue. It really stems down to, if you're still struggling with what my why is, I can tell you, with all your soul searching and digging deep in your journal work, you're probably going to come up with, I'm not good enough. Somehow you feel inadequate, not worthy, and there's this void in you that you are using sugar to fill. And sugar is a substance like heroin or cocaine. And when we really understand that, what it does to our brain and bodies, we understand we were addicted. You were a closet addict. I mean, God, that story you just described of being out in the gardens, what were you in? The houses, the greenhouses.
Yeah, the greenhouse.
Husband saying, I gotta go in and
because my mind was on the smidgens
to your husband so you can stuff your face with sugar. You got to get your fix in. And there's no judgment there. We've all been there. I think everyone can relate on the call. Yeah.
Well, you know what too, Joyce, I think too, and maybe some of the women also, can relate to this. I actually would at times feel like I needed to punish myself.
Yes.
So I would, indulge if I fell off the proverbial wagon, I would indulge more. I'm like, all right, well, you already screwed up, so you might as well just go, punish yourself and go gorge, and it wasn't until, again, in the program, learning about marketing and how the food industry they have us so duped, and, never really, like you said, never really understanding the mechanism behind how they get us addicted to sugar.
Yeah, so true. I also love how you pointed out, and I've seen this with women too. It's so simple. I mean, that's what I say, the secret to kicking sugar, when you get to module 8, and it's about making that decision that I don't eat sugar. It's simple. I don't eat sugar. 4 words.
4 words.
And that, how you could relate, I could relate too, to where when I had my big aha moment and I was at my lowest, and it was like, writing in my journal, like, I can't do this, again, for the umpteenth time, writing, saying I can. And then that voice, divine intervention came through, the pen onto the paper saying, but Joyce, you have, that's a story you're telling yourself. You gave up meat, 20 some years ago, 27, 28 years ago, when you decided that you don't eat meat, you don't eat animals for your ethical reasons, for the reasons that were important to me. I didn't do that. I'm like, and there are people all around me who eat meat, the whole world pretty much eats meat. And yet I have no problem, nor does it bother me to say, yeah, no, thank you. I don't eat it. Just like there's something that somebody listening, as you said, there's cigarettes, you mentioned coffee, you mentioned drinking, people don't drink because of their faith. A lot of people, most people don't smoke nowadays just cause, and if they were offered a cigarette, it wouldn't be hard. Like, think about that, ladies, as you're listening. It's not hard for you to say, oh, I don't smoke. No, thank you. I don't want a cigarette. You're not tempted by it. So it is possible, because to that person who is addicted to cigarettes, it's tempting to them, and they firmly believe in their world that they've created that they can't break their cigarette addiction or their alcohol addiction, whatever it is, or their coffee addiction. So that's proof that it is possible when you get to that why and you make a decision and you understand the science and psychology behind it. So that's powerful that you put that together.
Well, thank God for IKS, because that's what made me figure it all out. And that's why, this program is it's life-changing.
Thank you. So tell me, in all the years of your self-development, and motivational speaking, you've had the fortune of working with some of the legends in the industry. One of my favorites, Les Brown. You're so lucky. And Jim Rohn. Could you share with us maybe a quote or maybe some of the best advice that you've gotten that's helped you on your personal growth and in your transformation to share with anyone here?
Yeah. And I have to say that working with those 2 gentlemen was the highlight of my life. And Les Brown is just the most incredible man. And 2 things with Les Brown that really stood out to me, and I've read all his books. I mean, I worked close with him, and in my past, and he looked at me one day, and one of his famous quotes is, "It's hard." And he signed my book. He autographed the book for me, and he actually wrote that in the book. It's hard, and he said, "But it doesn't have to be hard. And he tells a story, and it was fascinating. And one of the other quotes that I love from Les Brown is, if you shoot for the moon and you miss, you still land on Mars.
Mm. Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite quotes from him. And real quick, he told a story about, there was this young woman, and she was petrified of the water, and she was in a swimming pool, and she's standing in the pool, and she's clinging onto the side of the wall, and she's crying, help, I'm drowning, I'm drowning, I'm drowning. And he's like, stand up, stand up. She was like in a foot of water and she was petrified to stand up. He's like, just stand up. And he was just amazing. And Jim Rohn, who I really spent a lot of time with, two things that stand out about Jim Rohn. And the first one, that one of his famous quotes is, why not you? Why not you? Whatever it is. If you think you can't do it, or, and that's another one of his quotes. If you think you can, if you think you can't, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Or in order for things to change, you have to make changes. I mean, there's just so many. And Les Brown was life-changing for me. He was just incredible. And working with both those gentlemen was the highlight, like I said, one of the highlights of my life. And I worked with them for 10 years. So I had a lot of, and I've been to, many other, speakers, Brian Tracy, Louise Hay, and many others. But those two I worked very closely with, because they did a lot of, meetings with us, and just incredible. And if you really want to change, you can. I was not always a positive person. I thought I was, but we talk about language here in IKS. And I want to tell you that as positive as I thought I was before I really got into self-development, I would put things out to the universe thinking I was being positive, and the universe heard me and sent back not such positive results. So it really is so important and Les Brown talks about that, Jim Rohn, your language is so important. It's so important to, you can't, it's like being on a radio station where you're trying to tune into one station, but you're actually on a different one. It doesn't work that way. You have to be on the same frequency, and you have to really watch your words, because your words mean everything.
So true. So powerful. It is. And what why, and I've seen you do this in the group also, commenting why I know you're going to make such a great ambassador, is we don't even hear our language. We don't hear, we wake up every morning with the same thoughts, feelings, and emotions that we had the day before, unless we make the intention of changing that, either through meditation, taking the time to retrain and rewire our brains, through meditation, through, affirmations, reading those affirmations, writing in your journal, stopping in your life to have a check-in with yourself, to catch your language, and to put, like you were saying, the right intentions out there in the universe. Otherwise, we're just repeating the same day as the day before, and we will tomorrow. And it's just going to, that's where autopilot comes into play. And, it sounds like, ooh, oh, please, like language is. So when we go around correcting people in the group, and we will ask you guys, or we see a comment, we'll say, hey, I invite you to shift this language. I, challenge you to change this, because it's so important. Because not only are you saying that out loud to us and the universe, anyone who's writing their posts and comments, watch what you say, but you're saying that. Imagine how much you're saying it to yourself internally, that subconscious mind, every day that you're going through, that you're not even aware of. And it's so crucial that, like you said, if that's all you're asking the universe to stay in pain, like, oh, my body aches today, and oh, I don't feel good, and oh, this is so hard to kick sugar. Well, it's just going to stay that way. It is, because every cell and fiber of your being is imprinting with that, and believes that, and is acting in accordance that way. But you change that. language, like you've learned to be, like, I am vital. I have energy. I feel fantastic today. Woo! And you jump up out of bed, that is going to shift your energy. Now, it's not going to change your life if you do that one day, once a month. But if you do it every day, maybe you miss a day here or there. Again, like I talk about in the course, it's the matter of compounding, right? Language compounding. We're not talking about perfection, but at the majority of it, 85%, 90% of the time, your life is going to change. Yeah.
Well, we are what we focus on. Whatever you focus on, it's just like you are what you eat. If you're eating junk, you're going to have a junk.
Yes.
Exactly. So, but it's a mindset, and it's something that people really need to become aware of. And some people will, and some people won't.
So true. So true. So what advice would you give all your fellow tribe sisters watching tonight, or are going to watch the replay later tonight or tomorrow, who are starting out listening first to the audiobook like you did? You started with the audio book story and heard my story, who might, already be, in the masterclass program, working the modules, or thinking about the masterclass. Could you share for us, to all of us, just from a coach's perspective, some of the tips for them and what you see differently, what worked for you with IKS and the program, the masterclass program in particular?
Well, everybody should be in the masterclass. Without a doubt.
I agree. If you want to kick sugar and you haven't yet.
And the audio, listen, when I did the audio program, which is also excellent, you got to print the book. Okay. Yeah. You can't just listen, because, if you're just listening, you're really not getting the whole gist of what you're saying. When I did do the audio program, I printed off the book and I followed along with the book and, made notes because when you're reading it and you're hearing it, it makes such a huge impact. And then getting into the master class, I see in the group a lot of the women, they're not following the program the way you laid it out. And it's so important to do it exactly the way you have laid it out, starting at the beginning, doing all the assignments, watching every video, doing the task, doing the bonus task, doing the journaling. If you're not journaling, you are missing the biggest part of the program. And take your time. Don't rush through it. Yeah. Take your time, be methodical with it. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to do it. And if you do that, if you do the program the way it is laid out, exactly as you have so eloquently built this program, they can't not have success. And know your why. Really get into it. And like I'll say it again, your why should make you cry. Yeah. And if you do those things, you're going to have the success. You're going to get rid of the inflammation. You're going to become sugar-free. If you need to lose weight, you're going to lose the weight. And it may take some time, but all we have is time.
Yeah. So
that would be my best advice to anyone that's in the program.
It's great advice.
And be a part of the community. Get on the calls. It's one thing, you know what, Joyce? It's one thing to see you on video and hear you talk. It's another thing to be on these calls and see you face to face and meet all the other women that are doing it and get your questions answered. I mean, what better coaching is that when you can get your your questions answered from you personally, and then the other ambassadors and other women that are doing the course and can share their experience.
Yeah, agreed. You mentioned also doing the work, committing to the work, committing to the tasks. Something that women might not know who aren't in the masterclass program, we have bonus tasks. Right. Share with them how the bonus tasks have helped you and what also you see transpiring in the group when women share these bonus tasks that they have to share. That's part of what the requirement for the masterclass is, to share that in the group.
Well, it really, it's one thing to just, go through the program and do the task, but when you do the bonus task, that's where you really get into the nitty gritty and, and you share your experience, and you become so aware of what you're doing and what you're not doing. And it helps all the other women as well. And I understand that some people don't like to share those things, but it's part of the program. Listen, if you went to college and your professor said to you, okay, here's your assignment for the day, you would have to do the assignment. And one of those things might be getting up in front of the class and speaking, or writing a paragraph, or, whatever it is. So it's part of the education. This is all about being educated on the industry, what sugar does to us. That's what the films are about. That's what being a sugar sleuth is, reading the labels. So do it all. And if you do that, you're going to have the success that you're seeking.
They're going to have success like you, because you did do it all. And that's what I loved. Because I was able to share your journey as you did the tasks. Myself and the other ambassadors and people in the group could, comment back, right, give you feedback, support you, help answer any questions you might have. It just brings the lesson to life, really. And, one of the things that I mentioned to everyone at the beginning of the masterclass is join, the masterclass Facebook group and start getting active. And if we didn't have the bonus tasks as a mandatory thing for people to do, to go through, they'd be like, I don't know what to say. I'm scared to say anything. What should I post? And now I'm telling them what to post. Here are 10 posts for you to do, one for each module to go through. It's super simple. You don't have to think that's how you share. Just share this question that we ask. And the women that do the bonus tasks are the women that I've seen, like yourself, have success and who have achieved, their freedom, who have no more desire. They've interacted, to the fullest extent and grasped the work and gotten the support that way. Yeah, definitely.
Right. And I just want to add, Joyce, that Tammy just said, this is a safe community. No one should be afraid. There's no judgment. There's, you shouldn't be afraid to say anything here. It's a safe community. It is a loving community. It is the most supportive community of any program out there. And I'm not just saying that to boost your ego. I'm telling you, I am going to be 70 years old in November. I have done a lot of programs. There is nothing out there like this. Do not be afraid. Let us help you. Let us support you. So say what it is that you're afraid to say. Don't be shy. Show up, and you're going to reap the rewards.
Beautifully said. Thank you. All right. I have one last question for you before we start wrapping things up this evening.
Okay.
I want to know, do you officially accept the role of the next 6 IKS Ambassador?
Oh, I absolutely accept.
Woo! Yeah.
And thank you.
You heard it, ladies. It's official. She's accepted.
And Joyce, I just want to say thank you to you and Dawn and the other ambassadors for being so welcoming and supportive of me and my journey. And my journey's not over yet. I mean, I'm still working on myself, but to know that I have been able to get out of where I was, I had given up. And when I tell you that this program, you saved my life, I am being so sincere. And I can't thank you enough for what you've created here and for the support of this community, because it is just phenomenal. Okay, here I go. Now I'm going to cry.
Let's bring on Dawn. Can you pin and bring on, including yourself, the other ambassadors who are on the call tonight? I see we've got Tammy, Lynn, Amy. I know Melissa couldn't make it because of school. She's just starting school as a teacher, back at it. But let's let everyone else see. And if any of these other ladies want to speak up, and we have amazing ambassadors to our group here who's watching right now. I mean, I couldn't run IKS without all of you. Tammy, Lynn, Amy, Dawn, now Lori, and we've got Melissa. I mean, you ladies are what make it. They have become family to me, friends to me. And I know to so many of you, they are just all an inspiration how they live. So everyone quickly, maybe just introduce yourself And say hi to everybody and anything you want to say. You'll open up the floor to whoever wants to start.
I'll start. I'm Tammy, and I just want to say, Lori, congratulations. You have earned it by just being a model of what it means to take it one day, one moment at a time. That progress, not perfection, putting yourself out there, encouraging and supporting others, I know has helped you to stay on your own path and not being afraid to ask questions, experimenting with what works and what doesn't, instead of that either or black and white thinking. Like, oh no, I had the ice cream, so now I can't do it. Or, oh no, I, had the candy, so I can't do it. Even though you're not doing sugar now, I know it doesn't mean it's always perfect or easy, right? Because there are other things besides the sugar that we have to constantly deal with. So I just celebrate you, honor you, and I thank you because you inspire me to stay on my path by showing up wholeheartedly yourself. So thank you for that gift and that blessing. And it's a joy to have you with us as an ambassador.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Tammy, for saying those words. Okay. Lynn, Amy, Dawn, who wants to go next?
I'll go. I just, welcome, Lori. You are just such an inspiration. I love that there's someone older than me by a little bit. So that's just, knowing that you're like a future me. I can look at you like, I'll be like Lori when I get to her age, which I think most of us can say. So, I love this community. Like you said, the two key things that make this program, I think, there's lots of keys, like none other is number one, the community. Absolutely. And I started my journey probably 13 years ago with this, where I am right now is a fitness group called To Be Re, but it's, to be rejuvenated, rediscovered, and it's community. Everybody knows everybody. And so I've stuck with it because of the people. And I felt really fortunate to meet Joyce at not this gym, but another gym. I met her in person, and we were in the lobby and I just was like glued to her, every word that was coming out of her mouth. And I didn't even know anything about IKS. It was just, oh, here's a fitness person, but a nutrition person. And everything she's saying is stuff that I am just passionate about. So it was from that point on that Joyce was like, hey, I think I might need a fitness ambassador, fitness mentor. And so, I've been excited to do a couple little programs. I'm also almost 40 years working at SRP as a GIS analyst, so hoping to retire from the corporate world in the next year and a half and spend more time doing this. But I'm just grateful to be a part of this community and to be a part of just commenting and encouraging people and inspiring people.
Absolutely. And Joyce is a magnet.
Yes, no doubt.
She's definitely a magnet.
Amy, it's so good seeing you. Is that the new gym that you're in right now? Your new
It is.
It's beautiful. Love it. We're going to have some IKS masterclass classes in there with your new.
I know.
Love it. Okay, Dawn, Lynn, I think, got lost, which has been happening with everybody on the internet.
They're having a storm. So she was afraid she was going to get kicked off.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay. All right. Well, Dawn, your final words on this?
I did what they said. I mean, not much more I can say, but I am just so grateful. Lori and I have had the chance to talk many times over this process. And I just got to tell you guys, I'm so grateful for her. I'm an introvert, and I share this with a lot of people, that Facebook groups to me, it's like going to a party and I'm told I have to talk to everyone. So I get overwhelmed. And Lori has kind of taken that overwhelm a little bit away from me. Yes, I'm still in there, I'm participating, but I don't feel as overwhelmed because that's her happy place. So I am happy to let her do it because she does an amazing job supporting and encouraging you guys. So I'm so grateful for you. So
Oh,
yes.
God.
We are. We love you, Lori, and we all welcome you to
Thank
the
you.
IKS Ambassador team. We're so glad you're going to be sharing it all with us. So thank
And I
you.
love you guys as well. So I'm just so delighted and so full of heartfelt gratitude. I really am.
This is what I love about the calls, how we all get mushy. This happens on all our masterclass monthly calls. There's so much feel the love between all of us. It's awesome. Our husbands, our partners just don't quite always get it, but we get it. We get each other. So we do. Thumbs up to all of us, me included.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Joyce, can I
right,
offer an invitation and a challenge?
Yeah,
That's just how
that's how you roll.
So I'm looking at the fact that we have 34 women on here. Awesome. So glad that you are all here. And this is for you. And it's also for anyone who's listening in any of the groups. So we don't get full participation in the masterclass. There are people that are lurking and hiding. And this is a joyful day. And I hope that you've heard something here that lets you know that this is a really safe place of people who really want to love on you, no matter where you are and what you're going through. And you came here for a reason. Something made you buy this class. Something made you join the group. Something made you buy the audiobook. I just want to invite you to tune back into what that something little nudge was at the very beginning and invite yourself to come forward. And you don't have to pour out your heart. You don't have to pour out your story. Just show up. Let us see you. Tell us where you are in your journey, in the modules. Ask a question, just something. Because we can't support you and help you. And I hope you can feel today that we really want to. And so I understand that, like, you can only lurk for so long. And what you're doing is you're training yourself to distrust your own follow through because your heart knew you wanted something more. And the way you can love her forward is to let her be seen, let her have a voice, and let her be loved, no matter how vulnerable that might feel. So even just dip a toe in, let us see you. We want to love on you. So it's my invitation, my challenge. And if maybe you're someone who needs a kick in the butt, I can do that too. So
Yes, she can.
Whichever place you need to be met in, I'll meet you there.
I love it. Such a powerful, important message, Tammy. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, ladies, just show up. We're here for you, and we can't help you if you don't come to us, and join the group and participate in any way. And remember, ladies, I'm going to leave you with this. If you are passionate and committed to building a future for yourself with the IKS brand, and you're ready to take your nutrition, your health, your happiness, all of it to the next level, and if you love helping and serving women, like all of your ambassadors here in our community, then I'm talking to maybe one of you out there, might just be ready for the ambassador program. We're always watching in the groups. All of us are. We always get together with their meetings like, hey, who are you looking at? Who are you looking at? So yeah, just keep that in mind. To see Lori's bio and learn more about the IKS Ambassador page, you can go to, again, the main website and view it there at ikicksugar.com, just the drop-down menu ambassadors. Lastly, because we talked a lot, I know, about the masterclass program, but all these ladies do it, they use it, they love it. And I've seen the most success. That's why I created the program. I knew people needed more than just the audiobook, the women. And so it's so much more than the audiobook, so much more. That I'm going to be offering. There's a special gift I'm giving to everyone tonight who's not part of the masterclass program, but thinking about it. For the next 24 hours, we are going to be offering an extra $100 off. I haven't done this yet. The program when you pay in full. Plus you get a slew of bonuses. So Dawn's going to be putting in there. I already see she's that fast. The particular promo code, it is Meetup 100 for the $100 off. And you got the link there. And that is it. That's a wrap. So, join us if you haven't. And I will see you all on our next live coaching session, which is Wednesday, September 6th. And I will officially be in Colorado. Woo-hoo. So I won't have hopefully a blank wall, or maybe I still will. I don't know if I'll have the room completely put up, but I will be there waiting to see all of you and help you on your journey along with the ambassadors. So thank you, ladies, for joining Lori and myself tonight with our special meetup. Lori, again, welcome, and so excited to have you as part of the inner team here. So good night, everyone. Thank you. And we will
join us.
All right. Love you, ladies. Bye.
Love you too. Bye, everybody.